All right, welcome back to the Ask Mama podcast where we take questions for my mama. And they're questions that are answered by an elder with some sense.
Amen.
Okay,
Praise the Lord.
that is the name of the game.
There you go.
And so we're gonna get right into the questions. I think let's just now about these questions. These questions are from my friend group and Lamar's friend group.
Yes.
As we continue with the episodes, you will send in your questions to Ask Mama, and you can do that by following us on Instagram, the Ask Mama Podcast. You DM us your question for Mama, and then next Wednesday, we will answer your question. We have an episode every Wednesday, so just feel free to send us questions, and as soon as we get them, we'll stop asking our friends to give us questions. But we have a lot of questions from our friends, so we've definitely got a lot to say and a lot to ask Mama for the next few episodes. But if you want to ask a question, you know what to do now.
All right.
I'm going to get to the first question. The first question is, Dear Mama, I have come to the realization that my friend group is toxic. They find fault with everyone I date. They're always talking about people, and they're almost always complaining about their life. My two-part question is, should I end these relationships that I've had since high school, or say something to them to see if they can change?
Wow. They're just smothered into negativity.
Yeah.
I would definitely say something to them because when you've known somebody that long, it might be a relationship worth saving. So I talk to them about it. You know, why are you so negative? Why is everything I do, everybody I date, something's wrong? Nobody's perfect anyway. But I would definitely sit them down and have a one-on-one because I believe in just being straight up with people, especially people I care about and have had a lifelong relationship with. Definitely sit them down, talk to them. If nothing changes, let them know I'm going to have to move on because this is affecting me in a negative way, and we can't build on that type of relationship.
Yeah, I don't really, I will say, I guess you could say something, but for me, people like that don't change. They're definitely not going to change because you ask them to. I think that when you have friends like that and you kind of, it sounds like whoever this is outgrew them and has realized that they're not beneficial to my life.
Right.
I don't think people change. I'm sorry. I mean, not that dramatically, that they would literally stop faulting you for your dates. They would stop being negative about their lives. They would stop talking about people. I mean, those are some huge changes to your character. I just don't think that the friend group is going to just all of a sudden change their ways because you ask them to. I think that sometimes you outgrow people
I agree.
and you got to move on.
That's what I was going to say. That it sounds like, especially since she's been friends with these people since high school,
Yeah.
that's a long time. Well, it depends on how old she is or how old the person is. But she probably has outgrown that friend group. And I think sometimes we can be loyal to a fault to some people that don't necessarily deserve our loyalty.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah.
And so it's like, okay, well, is it coming? Because if they're toxic, then it's coming from a place that's not from a place of love. It would seem if it's toxic.
Yeah. Also, toxic. I'm just gonna say, usually, if all your friends are toxic, that means that for a time you were too.
Right.
And that means that maybe you're kind of done with that. You don't want to be that anymore. a lot of times, because you're friends with people who are like you.
Right.
Usually,
Definitely.
that's how you get along,
Right.
because you like the same things. You like to do the same things. So at some point, you like talking about people. You liked, dogging people out and doing the, but you don't anymore.
Right.
So I just think, you need to find people that are more like who you are now.
But if you were like that,
Yeah.
they don't deserve to be sat down and told. I used to be like this too, but no longer. I'm not
I
that
do
way.
agree with you on
I
that
wanna-
part of it. I think that I always think that you should tell somebody, like,
Yeah.
hey,
Yeah.
this is
tell 'em.
why we're probably not going to be friends anymore.
Yeah.
I'm all good with that. Being
Yeah.
honest about where I am right now and me
Right.
not wanting to be involved in this situation
Right.
anymore like it is.
Mm-hmm.
But all I'm saying is expect them not to change.
Right.
Cause that's a huge change for them.
That's
And
the
if
want
they've
to.
showed no signs of changing, you got to be ready to let them go. And it's really hard to find, just speaking from my own experience, it's hard to find new friends as an adult.
Yeah.
Especially if you've had, and that's why it's hard to walk away from childhood friends, because it's very hard to make new friends.
That's
Yeah.
right. It is.
Situations change, circumstances change. Sometimes we trauma bond.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's a real thing.
But a talk is always in order. Just be upfront.
Absolutely.
Tell how you feel, and that's it. After that, if they don't change, I'm walking on by.
Right. Walk on
Okay.
by. Okay.
That's it. It's
Okay.
over.
Dun, 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 dun,
Yes.
dun, dun. Welcome
Macarena.
That's it.
Okay. Lamar, your next question.
Yes.
You got
Yes.
it. You got it.
Okay. So this is coming from an African American male. And his question is, as an African American, I find that lately I see a lot of dysfunction in our culture and race of people. I want to know exactly what you think about the current state of our race and where you think we will be in the future and how we can get there.
We have got, as a people, male and female alike, become more community oriented. And it starts with the family.
Yeah.
Families, have to really try to come together, be in each other's life, if possible. Some families are toxic.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
No
Yes.
doubt.
But if you can't do it with your own family, community can be built outside of that. You can meet other people and form a family.
Yeah.
But we have to, as a race, get our community together. And I think if we do that, things will be better for us as a whole.
Yeah. Yeah.
And how would that, what are the steps that, how do we get there? I guess is the other part of the question.
How do we
Yeah.
get there? We have to, first of all, church used to be a place where community was. I know a lot of young people are no longer going to church, which is a tragic situation. So if not church, hopefully maybe we can rebuild our church, our community in church, because that is where Black people used to build the community. Everything was in church. So if we could get that structure back lifted, church, maybe have community meetings. There used to be a thing in areas where, when I was growing up, we had community meetings. So community meetings, church meetings,
Like town halls.
schools, yes. Schools could have a reach out,
Yeah.
bringing families together at PTA meetings. Get more involved in school, even if you don't have kids in school. Get involved in the PTA meetings and things like that. So we have to build up the things that we used to have and build our communities back. Because we did have them.
Yeah.
So we have to rebuild those things.
You know, I think that people look at it like, oh, you know, it's broken and, you know, people ain't right. They do this and that. They take advantage of you volunteering, or they do this and that. We always, you know, jump to the negative, and it's just like, man, there was always something safe and promising about our community. Like anytime I look back at the 60s, like I am like so obsessed with the 60s and the history and what was going on then, because that's what we were about then. And I think that that's really the thing. It's a mindset.
Right.
Like it takes little effort to be a positive force in your community. You don't have to have money. You don't have to have status. You don't have to have some particular degree. You literally can make a difference every day in your community with little steps. But it's a mindset. And we used to all have the same mindset. Like, it's about us.
Right.
Let's make our community better. Let's clean up our community. Let's look out for each other. It's a mindset. It's a mentality.
Right. It is.
And I think if we don't believe in each other,
Right.
as much as we may believe in ourselves, I see a whole lot of people like, yeah, I'm out here grinding. I'm on my grind. I'm on my hustle and this, that. Okay, you're trying to build something. You're trying to be ambitious and stuff, but you're not happy for the next Black person who was successful. It's like, okay, you're like, say you got a t-shirt company. Your t-shirt company blows up. Then your cousin starts one. Theirs blow up and you mad.
Right.
It's like that mentality is why we're not pushing forward. It's an oppressive mindset. It's falling into the trap. We're supposed to be happy for each other's successes.
Absolutely.
Right.
We're supposed to band together to fight back against this system that is against us.
That's right.
And so, you know, we're a long way from it, but we're also really close.
Yeah.
It's all up here. So if we can just get back to that mindset, I think
we have
sky's
to.
the limit.
We're going to have to get there.
Yeah.
Because if we don't, at the rate things are going, we're not going to survive.
Yeah.
So we have to get back there. We got to build it back up.
No doubt.
I see so many African Americans, to piggyback on what you all said, which this is the segue. I see so many African Americans who claim to be leaders of our communities.
Right.
But when I look at the videos on social media, because that's where a lot of their platform is, I see and hear them saying, we need to come together, but not this group over here, though. You know,
Right.
there needs to be unity, but not you all, because I don't agree with that, or that's not where my religion is, or whatever the case may be. I think that creates a culture of division.
Absolutely.
Right? And I
Yeah.
think that we need to be unified together, everybody.
And let me tell you something. If you want to go back, like, to the 60s, because I mean, that is the blueprint for me.
Yeah, it is.
It certainly
They
is.
spoke a lot about this because there were different camps. There were camps that were the Black Panthers. There were camps that were the Muslims. They were with Malcolm X.
Yes.
There were camps that was with Martin Luther King. They were the Christians.
Yes.
Like, we had all these different camps. And they had subtle differences in their beliefs and what they wanted to do, their goals.
Right.
But they
The fundamentals.
underneath it all,
Yes.
it was about Black unity.
That's right.
So you can be about this, that, and the third. your different goals, it doesn't matter.
Right.
Your different beliefs, your different religions, it doesn't matter.
Right.
Because at the end, I'm a Christian. If somebody says they're an atheist, but they believe in black people's advancement and success, we're on the same team.
Right.
And no leader or no one can call themselves a leader without understanding that, without knowing that to be true, without preaching it every day on their social media. So it's a dead giveaway. I tell people that all the time. If you're looking up to somebody or you think this person is good, pay attention to their words. Are they inclusive?
Right.
That's it.
Because it's about, I don't care what our differences is. I know what bands us together is the color of our skin.
That's it.
When we walk in to get a job, when we go to a school to try to get into the school, whatever it is, we're black first to them. So we need to be black first with each other. That's what's first.
Yes.
And that is what dictates our lives. So we have to see that and underneath it know that no matter what or who you are, you're black.
That's
Right.
right.
And what does that mean in the country we live in?
Right.
And what can we do to make it a more positive and safe experience for the next generation? And that's what it's about. So I tell people all the time, you can always tell if somebody, like, I don't want to get into it too much about them, but that Dr. Umar or whatever, like that. Like, you can say a lot of good things and be wrong as hell
Yes.
about a
right.
whole bunch of other stuff. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
And so because you're not inclusive of everybody's own beliefs, their own thought processes, if they believe in black unity, who cares who they date?
Right.
Who
Right.
cares who they marry?
That's it.
Who cares what they do on Sunday?
That's right. That's right.
And
You gotta chew the meat, spit out the bone.
Yes.
Okay,
You're
Ma.
not. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
There you go.
And separate the personal. Because
That's
that's
right.
personal. What you believe.
Yeah,
what you
yeah.
don't- that's personal.
This is
That's
a
not-
revolution.
Right.
This is a movement.
Right.
Yes, it is.
Right.
I don't care about what your favorite color is.
Who cares? And it's not gonna hold up. Period. In the final goal.
Right.
Who cares about what your personal
Does it
things
keep
is?
us safe when we're pulled over by police?
No.
Absolutely not.
No, it does not.
Do
No.
they care if I'm a Christian or you're a Muslim or you're an atheist or you're gay or you're straight?
Doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. The common denominator in this fight is blackness.
There it is.
Do you think that cancel culture plays a big part in the division as well? So what I mean by that is, if you don't believe what I believe, if you don't think what I think, because that tends to be the attitude.
It's the same thing, yeah.
Yeah.
It's under
Yeah,
that umbrella.
that's
Yeah.
not good.
No doubt.
We've
No
got
doubt.
to be
of our
in-
society.
Yeah.
We have
whole.
to be
Yeah.
inclusive.
We falling for the,
We
and
have
like I
to.
said, all this is about is falling for the okie doke.
Yeah.
We keep falling for the same
That's right.
tropes.
Yep.
And
Right.
they are designed to keep us
Oppress.
apart.
There you go.
Oppression is there for a reason.
Yes, it is.
It is the fight. The oppressive mindset is the main battle weapon
It is.
of this system.
And it's work.
Unity has always been our power
Yeah.
throughout history.
Yeah. And yet everybody seems to understand that but us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the Bible does say, a house divided will not stand.
Yep, there you
Well,
go.
we're seeing it.
Yeah, we are.
We're divided,
Yeah.
and we have to come together
Yeah.
to save ourselves. Nobody's coming to save us. We have to save us.
Yeah. It's our
Our
responsibility.
children, just because I didn't birth this child, we have to have the mindset, this is still my child.
All right, so that was a lot.
Yeah.
Let's do another question.
Okay.
Okay, this one is very this one is kind of deep, so let's give it its proper time here. Dear Mama, can you give me some tips on how I should end an abusive relationship? I've told no one about his physical and verbal abuse because everybody loves him and thinks he's great for me. I know I need to build up the courage to leave, but how?
My Lord. Well, I think when you're in the process of leaving, you need to tell someone outside of that house what you're planning to do. But you don't need to go to the person and let them know. You need to keep this from them. And somebody you trust, a mother, a sister, brother, someone that you trust, let them know what you're doing and get help in that area. But I do not believe in telling the person I'm leaving or giving them a heads up, because that's when things can get dangerous.
Yeah.
So I think you should get you a confidant, somebody that you can trust. Let them know you're leaving. You don't have to tell all the details of what you've gone through, but somebody you can trust that won't tell this person. It needs to be kept from the person. I do not believe in going to them. I mean, it's very important for your safety that you use wisdom in getting out of this.
And the other part of the question, though, is the main part is how does she build up the courage? Because that seems to be the main point for her.
It's rough because your mind can talk you out of leaving. Oh, nobody's going to want me. If you're not, you could be in a situation where you don't have money. How am I going to make it if I leave? He has the money. You have got to trust yourself, what God gave you. We were born alone. You do not need to be in a relationship. It's okay to want a relationship, but you don't need it like that. You have to build yourself up and get the courage to leave. If you're tired, you have to be, first of all, you really do have to be sick and tired of your situation.
Yeah.
Because if you're not sick and tired of it, you talk yourself in and out of it. So the mind will tell, it's telling you in your own voice, oh, you should stay, or you don't, what are you going to do? Where are you going to live? Those things will work themselves out. But abuse is abuse. It could lead to death. You need to get out of it. And you have to pull. Because you got strength. We all have strength that we don't really realize that we have. But we have it. We come from a people that has strength. It is in our DNA.
Right.
So you do have it. You may feel weak. I've been there where you feel weak and maybe I won't be able to make it, but you can.
Yeah. And I don't know what, the religion background is of this person, but understanding that you are worthy. You are worthy to be happy, to feel safe.
Yes.
To feel joy. You're supposed to feel good with the person you're with. You're not supposed to feel scared. And one thing I do want to say is this is a very dangerous situation that you're in. Your life is on the line. It's not just about breaking up with somebody. You're getting away from an abuser and somebody who's also sounds like a manipulator, because if everybody thinks he's great, that means he's a really good liar, right? And
yes,
so your life is on the line here. And you have to think about that. You have to know that you're worthy of a future because you have no future with this person.
My Lord.
Literally
And
and
you know,
figuratively.
we're gonna pray for you. We're praying for you.
Yes.
For your strength.
Yeah.
And I really I believe that everybody has at least one person that, you know, whoever immediately comes to your mind, like even if it's
Yes.
like a teacher or you know, your boss, maybe he or she really cares for you or whatever.
Yes.
Somebody at your job, somebody that you kind of know, but you know that they are a good person that cares for you. Just let them know what's up.
Yeah.
There's somebody, because that's going to help you build courage too, like having somebody else
Somebody.
just know the truth.
Right.
Yes.
And they will even help you build yourself up to walk out that door.
That's right.
Yeah.
I totally agree with everything that you all have said. I would say just think of the worst case scenario in your mind, even if you are not mentally and emotionally ready to leave.
Yeah.
Think about the worst case scenario that can happen as a result of this. And that may give you the push that you need, because working on yourself and getting yourself to a healthy situation and a healthy esteem and worth, that could be a long road, especially if you've been in an abusive relationship. And it sounds like you said, he's manipulative, he's probably emotionally abusive and psychologically abusive. So I would just say really harp in on that worst case scenario, and if nothing else, let fear of that be a catapult to kind of get you out of there and make a move.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a tough one.
You're stronger
That's a
than
tough
you
one.
think.
Yes, you
Yeah.
are.
No doubt. Stronger than you think.
And it's just, I see it so often, like, you know, even when I'm like on TikTok, there's like so many young people in abusive relationships now that it's kind of like,
Wow.
what is going on? And I really put it to this whole thing that's happening within our community once again, of all of these negative men on, you know, like just chauvinists,
I mean-
like just so hateful
Yeah.
towards black women, whether they're in relationship or not, and
Awful.
and kind of spewing out a woman's place,
Right.
and you know, just totally like 1950s thinking, like y'all wasn't even born. Where
Right.
y'all getting this from? This is from so long ago. And so they're bringing back all of these mentalities of like, the man is the king of the castle, he the leader, he this, he that, and it's such a negative, with such a negative tone on it. You know, they coming at women like they are trash. They're talking to these women like, you should be lucky to even have a dude look at you twice.
Yes.
Like the negativity of this, and actively. That's another reason I started this podcast, because there's so many podcasts that are so negatively
Yes, it is.
pushing men, black men against black women. On every other podcast I see,
Yes.
it's just so much hate, so much active division.
We're a team.
And we're making each other the enemy.
Yeah.
And so you're going into, you know, just the mindset of a lot of young people is not correct.
No. Which is leading
unfortunate.
to a lot of breakdown
Yes.
in our communities and in
Yes.
our race.
I mean, it's sad.
It goes back to working together. A relationship is a coming together, a working together. If you don't value my thoughts and I don't value yours, what are we doing here?
Yeah.
I mean, you've got to value one another.
Yeah.
What do
Some
we-
of the stuff
That's
that
ridiculous.
you hear, like the ideas of a lot of men and women about who does what or what we should be doing. You know, it's so messed up. You just be like,
What in
who
the?
are y'all?
Mm-hmm.
Where did y'all come from?
Mm-hmm.
I didn't go to school with this.
Exactly.
Like, how did you grow up to be this? You know, and it's just, but it's like, that's the power I feel of social media. Like, some people get on these phones and believe every word they like.
Yes.
They just happen upon somebody's video.
Yep.
Oh my God.
Some psycho who's spewing out nothing but hate.
Yep.
And it could be a white dude spewing out racism. It could be a black man spewing out racism towards his own people. A black woman spewing out racism towards, Candace Owens, a.k.a.
Oh, Lord.
Coon.
Oh,
but,
Lord.
So it's
Coonisha.
just so many people online now spewing out all this negativity.
Absolutely.
That it is literally filtering into the minds of millions.
That's sick. That is real.
And it's
unfortunate.
causing a lot of violence.
Yes, it is.
In relationship and just out in the world, period. Look at all the massacres that we're having. Look
Oh
at
my
all of
God.
these uprisings that we're having. And I can't even emotionally discuss Palestine right now. I cannot even go there right now with Gaza, because I'll just start crying and we will not get through any of this. But there's so much hate in the world, and people are making so many excuses for the hate. And that makes it even more disgusting.
Yeah.
Like I said, we have to. It's not a should we. We have to come together. We have to. It's if we don't, we will be non-existent.
It's about believing that we
Seriously.
still can.
Yeah.
I see a lot of people
Who
that
don't.
should know better, but they get their mouth to say, "Oh, nothing matters. It don't matter. It's gonna always be the same." It's I ain't got time for it. I believe, and you're not taking my hope away
Or
from
my
me.
belief.
Right.
So this is what we do, I guess. We band together amongst the people that have the same mindsets and who
That's right.
believe. Because you can't take everybody with you, I guess, is the moral of the
Absolutely. You
story.
cannot.
You cannot.
So band together with the people that have the same ideas and have the same ambitions, and let's make it happen and
Build
build.
the community.
and build. And eventually people will say, hey, wait a minute. They're making some movement. They're doing some things. Let me jump on to
Right.
this.
Right.
Because I didn't see a way before.
And it's inclusive.
Right.
It's not something that if you don't have a degree, you can't, if you don't do this, if you didn't go pledge this, it's inclusive. We have to involve us all to make a difference.
Well, I think that we have done well with these questions.
I think so too.
Okay, so now we're going to get into our recommendations. We're going to start out with the Black-owned business.
Okay.
We're all about community here, building up our community. I'm being very transparent in that I'm always looking around for Black-owned businesses to give my money to, as should we all, so that we can all be successful
Yes.
in our endeavors.
Yes.
Showing your support to your people is always a good idea.
That's right.
And there are wonderful businesses out there to highlight. So we're always going to have somebody to spotlight.
That's right.
Okay. And if you have a Black-owned business and you want us to spotlight your business, DM us on our Instagram, Ask Mama Podcast, and we will be happy to let everybody know about your business. So the Black-owned business that I'm spotlighting this week is the Hootiful Salon. Okay?
Oh.
That's the salon that I go to whenever I do go to a salon. And my mom, they specialize in natural hair.
Okay.
In all textures of Black people's hair. We all have different textures in our hair, and they're amazing. They know how to keep your scalp healthy. They really do a great job. They're all very sweet. The Hootiful Salon is owned by Ken Birkin. I think that's how you say his name. black man. And
All
he
right.
has 4 locations actually, which I didn't know after looking this up. I thought it was just in Chicago, but it's not. So in Chicago, it's on 1614 East 53rd Street. So that's right in Bronzeville for everybody that's in Chicago. It's on 53rd Street. He also has a location in Atlanta, and he has 2 locations in Texas, in Austin and Dallas Fort Worth.
right.
So if you are in any of those locations, check out Hootiful Salon.
All right.
It's an amazing establishment, and they really know how to take care of our natural hair.
That's beautiful.
So
yes,
what's
it
your spotlight, Ma?
My spotlight is a restaurant, black owned. It's in Hyde Park, 1462 East 53rd Street, and it's called Virtue. They've got soul food, collard greens, macaroni and cheese, sweet potatoes.
All right.
It's some good eating.
Yeah, no
So
doubt.
they got my vote, and
It's a great place for a date as well.
yeah,
Just saying.
Virtue.
it is.
Nice.
Yes, it is. All right.
Right.
What's yours?
My recommendation is a black-owned restaurant in Evanston. It is in the southernmost side of Evanston. It is
Okay.
at 711 West Howard Street, and it's called Good to Go Jamaican Cuisine.
Okay.
On Fridays, they have live music, and on Saturdays, they have a DJ, and it is awesome. The food is delicious.
Oh, that is so
Okay.
cute.
And this is in Evanston.
It's in Evanston.
Okay.
Wow. And the
Yeah.
name is what?
Good to Go Jamaican Cuisine.
Right. Good
Nice.
to go.
And
Good
shout out
to
to
go.
Evanston, Illinois, just by the way. They were the first town ever in America to give reparations.
It sure is.
And
Wow.
they have a really big network of black-owned businesses.
That is awesome.
Wow. See, I'm always on the south side, so I didn't really know. But I'm gonna
check
check
it.
out
Yeah.
Evanston. I'm gonna get out of my comfort zone.
Yes,
And
And,
go to Good to Go.
Go.
And good
I
I
to
love
go.
the name.
It's
Good
awesome.
to go.
You know, we
we come for you know we do. Some ketchup.
Oh my God. Okay, so those are 3 Chicago-based businesses, and we're doing Chicago because we're from Chicago. This is
Right.
what but I will try to look up some other businesses that are not in Chicago too, just to give everybody a shout out. But we're gonna start with our own, right?
Yes.
I think you should always start at home
I
with
agree.
your support and everything else. So, moving on, let's do TV or movie recommendations. My recommendation is from Netflix, and it's called The Night Agent. It's a TV show. It's action and mystery, which are the 2 things that I love watching. I love action, and I love like a whodunit type of scenario. And this gives me everything I want. The acting is good. It's a little funny too at times. And it's one of those binge type shows. So you're going to sit down and watch the first episode. You're going to have to watch the next because you want to know what happens. You want to figure out who is doing this. That's all I'm going to say. But it's a great show. If you haven't seen it, check it out on Netflix.
Well, for me, I like to laugh. I love Murders in the Building.
Okay.
It's on Hulu.
That's another show I told you about. By the way.
Yeah, it is. I don't know what's on. So I loved it. I laughed.
Hilarious.
It's just crazy. I wish I lived in that building.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a
Okay,
good show.
check
It's a
it
good show.
out.
It's adorable, even though it does say murder. But
But it's
what
the
you gonna
funny
do?
kind of murder.
It is. It's that light murder.
Oh my God.
y'all.
What's yours, Lamar?
Oh my gosh. Okay, can I recommend 2?
Go ahead.
Okay. And the reason why I say that is because of the last question that we talked about. I think it's a good segue, right? Okay. So the first one I came prepared with was Leave the World Behind. It is on Netflix. It is a movie.
Okay.
And it speaks to as well to the last question we talked about. But it's more of a thriller, but not in the way that you think it would be. Not like, oh my God, but it's more of a social thriller.
Okay.
I think both of you all will enjoy it.
Oh,
Yeah.
And then my second one is The Social Dilemma.
Mm.
That was a
Okay.
document, or is a documentary on Netflix as well, because that's all I watch. It's Netflix. I love Netflix.
Yeah,
Okay.
I do too.
And that one is really good, and it really breaks down how social media, things that are recommended to you, how all of that works. When you look up something and when you watch a video for a certain amount of time, how they say, "Oh, you must be interested in that. Let me send you more of this."
Oh,
right.
Algorithms and stuff like
The
that.
Yeah.
algorithm thing.
Yeah. So really good watches, both of them.
Okay.
All right.
Let's keep it going. Let's do books.
Okay.
I'm just gonna start off with just some of my favorites, but this is one that's one of my favorites. It's called Sula, and it's by Toni Morrison, and it's a novel. I'm not gonna even tell you nothing about it. It's an incredible an incredible story that feels like a movie. Like when you're reading Toni Morrison, you're like your mind you see in a movie in your head as you're reading it, because she's so descriptive of how she builds the world that she's talking about and how she describes the characters. You can see them as clear as day. And she wrote this book back in the 70s, and so and for it to still be able to affect me, and I can see myself in the characters and all of that. It's just such an amazing story. And of course, anything she's written is amazing.
Yes, it
but
is.
if you just want to start off by getting into Toni, this is a great book to start your Toni journey. Okay? It's an amazing story. So check it out if you can. If you're not a reader, once again, if you're just not into books like that, it's on Audible, so you can check that out on Audible as well, and just listen to it while you're doing your cardio or on your way to work or something.
Pure genius.
Yeah.
Yes, she
What
is.
about you?
For me, it is a book called Barracoon by Zora Neale Hurston,
Okay.
the Great.
Yeah.
It's a wonderful book. She interviewed this man that was from like the last ship that came in with slaves, and it is a beautiful piece. So I would tell anybody, you really would learn a lot and enjoy being in the company of this man.
Okay.
Beautiful.
Okay. What about you?
Awesome. So I'm gonna butcher this young lady's name or man's name. I'm not sure, but the name is MJ. Fear. It's Fievre.
Okay.
And the book is called Badass Black Girl.
All right.
Okay.
Yes, and so it's a book full of just affirmations and positivity for young African American women. And there's a whole gamut of books that she has produced with young black girls in mind.
Oh, that's awesome.
So yeah, empowerment and everything. So I think that's my recommendation.
That's
okay.
awesome.
All right. Let's do one more. Let's do music real quick. Just something real quick. For me, I'm gonna go with a song that I've recently added to my running playlist in the morning. I run every day for Breonna Taylor as a protest run. I don't know what day I'm on. I think I'm on day 1,303 or
Good
something
God
like
Almighty.
that. But I run 3 miles a day for Breonna Taylor until we get justice for Breonna Taylor, and that means somebody has to take accountability for her death. And so I won't get too deep into that. We'll talk about that on another episode. But because I run every day, I'm always putting together running playlists for myself in the mornings and stuff. So this is a song that I kind of found. It's by a group. I'm gonna probably mess up the name, but I think they're French, and it's called Maneskin. They're a rock group, rock pop kind of group, and the song is called "Honey, Are You Coming?" and it's just a jam. I be out there. It gets me going. It gives me some good energy in the morning. So, and it's a new song, so you can check it out. And they've got some good upbeat tunes. So, Mama.
Well, I've been on a jazz thing. So I've been listening to the great John Coltrane. Anything Coltrane. Yeah. It's been fabulous. And I love his version of Favorite Things. Okay. It's just wow. I just be
I love it.
Hey,
Ella Fitzgerald, baby.
Get it.
Nancy Wilson.
All right.
All right, Lamar.
For me, it's Van Jess, and one of my favorite songs by them is called "Slow Down."
Okay,
They sampled the rump shaker, you know, the horn.
Yeah,
but it's a totally different vibe. So if you just want to sit down and sip some wine and listen to some nice, easy listening music that'll get you kind of sensual.
Okay,
all right.
Go ahead and check out Van Jess.
Okay,
wow.
All right. Well, to end this episode out, we're going to do a little 5 minutes of trash. That's what I like to call this segment. And for this, let me try to set this up.
Take out the garbage. Lord have mercy.
And the 5 minutes of trash is called that because it's about celebrity nonsense or political celebrity nonsense, just the nonsense that goes on that we find ourselves talking about, and we don't even know these people. So, one thing that's going on currently is this TD Jakes situation.
Oh, Lord God.
And it's not really what you think, because it's like, for me, I just kind of want to get down to it and say, why is it that, I'm not going to say all Christians, but I'm going to say church-going Christians put pastors on such a high pedestal? Where in the Bible does it say that these men or women are above us in any way? Where in the Bible does it say that?
A lot of times they go with a scripture that says, touch not my anointed, do my prophet no harm. But I'm anointed.
Right. But that does not mean that person is royalty or a better human being or above anyone else in any way.
I do not believe that.
One of my one of the main beefs I have with church is that you go in there and it's like, oh, you can't just walk up to the pastor and just talk to them. They're not a regular person. Right. You got to set an appointment. You got to get past their security. You got to get past the line of deacons and whatnot that surround them, and it's almost that whole it's almost the same vibe of a celebrity.
Yeah.
And so it doesn't surprise me that you have somebody like TD Jakes at a P. Diddy party.
Hello.
You know what I mean? Like, it's not far-fetched because you're treating him like a celebrity. They're acting like they're celebrities. They're all in. Like, what are you doing? Like, so I think that, beyond him, because I don't really want to talk about him because I really don't. I just don't. And I don't know what's true or not true. This is not about that. Yeah. This is about, once again, black people that go to church, holding these pastors up like they can do no wrong.
Above reproach. Well, again, we have to practice inclusiveness. Everybody. There are no big I's and little U's in the Bible. Jesus walked among just regular lay people. He didn't come here and asked to be treated like a king. He did not. So if he didn't, who is the true head of the church?
Right.
Then who are we?
Right.
Now, yes, you treat a pastor with respect, but you treat everyone with respect.
Yeah.
You understand? But Jesus didn't come here like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
You know,
I think it gives pastors the audacity
It does.
to walk around as if they are superior
It does.
to the people at their church.
It's the layman's fault. It is.
If your intentions are not pure, I think I'm gonna go out on a limb and say this from what I personally feel. I think that a lot of times it starts from the top. We see this for corporations. We see it in all different entities, right? So if you create a church where you are the head, or you create a culture where you are the head within the church, people are going to fall right on in line. It's almost like mass manipulation in a way.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I'm gonna groom you all
I'm
to put
definitely
me on this pedestal.
I'm definitely in that same wavelength. Like, I believe it is just as much the pastor's fault
Right.
as it is the people that go to the church.
It is.
It is. I think it's 50-50. I
Right.
think if one side said, like, if the pastor came out and said, "You're not going to treat me like that," I believe the pastor at the end of the day has the ultimate power,
He
though.
does.
He does.
Because he or she can come in and say, because I've seen pastors, good pastors do it, and say, "I'm not above you. You can
Right.
come up to me. We can talk and convert." They show it better than they can tell you.
That's right.
Because it's spreading the message of God.
And
it's
that-
not for them. It's not a
exactly.
self-righteous
That's
thing.
right.
And they call themselves, "I sin too. I mess up too." They don't stand there like they're perfect.
That's right.
And I think that understanding that is, that's what tells you whether or not you're in a good church.
Right.
That's
Is the
right.
pastor above everybody else and you can't get near him? Or is he right there?
Is he
Is
approachable?
he right there
Right.
with you?
That's
And you
right.
feel like, after the service, I feel like I can walk up to him and say, "I really learned a lot today. Thank you, Pastor."
Right.
Can I do that? Or will 4 security guards stop me?
Tackle you.
Right.
So I think twofold.
Disgusting.
The first one I said. Secondly, I think people that go to those churches and make those churches thrive, those type of churches where the pastors up here,
The megas.
the megas, right? I truly personally believe that they do not have a personal relationship with God. There's no way that you're going to be able to follow up behind someone or go to a church or be a part of a church like that if you have a true relationship with God.
Well, I think
A personal one?
Well,
I
they
think you can. Well, go ahead.
But I think it goes back to, I think you can love the Lord and still, kind of be in awe at pastors, and they do the same with people in the church that sing.
they're misinterpreting.
They treat them that
they're
way.
misinterpreting
They're
what they feel.
Absolutely. They don't understand that you don't need to do that. That person is no better than you, no matter their gifts or talents.
Right.
They're still a human like
But
you.
that's the pastor's job to teach.
Right.
It is. Like, I used to be in a church where I sang and people would, but I did not carry myself like I'm above anyone because I never liked that.
Right.
Because I'm not.
Because you knew better.
I just have a gift. God gave it to me. I
Right.
didn't give it to myself.
Right.
But you
So-
would tell people that.
Yeah.
Right.
So that's
I
a
would.
form of teaching them
Right.
Absolutely.
that you don't hold these people higher and above you like
do
that.
not.
You don't
Right.
put these people on a pedestal.
You don't.
But it is the job of the person that's being put on the pedestal
To
to
help
say,
you.
no, I'm stepping down from here.
Yeah.
I am just
Because-
like you.
Right.
And that's what the TD Jakes of the world, I said it, don't do.
Right.
They walk around like they're royalty. And
they
how
let-
dare you tell me that I have done anything wrong?
And they let people treat them like that.
Yeah.
You should not. God gave you whatever gift you got, whether it's preaching, singing, prophesying, whatever. He gave you that gift. So you are no better than anyone. But the people have to be taught that. You have to learn, because I wouldn't care what a preacher did. My relationship is with the Father.
That's it.
I don't care.
But
It's not going to
everybody
stop
doesn't
me.
know it.
Everybody doesn't know.
And you
no.
have to have grace. You have to give people grace, because when you come to a church, think about the mentality of most people when they come to church for the first time, or they're coming back to church, it's because they need God. They need Him. They need God. They're looking for something. They're looking to feel better, to understand what they're going through, and they're in a vulnerable
They
place.
need help. Absolutely.
And so when somebody comes to you in that vulnerable space, they're looking for answers, and the pastor is supposed to give them the answers that God has already given us.
Right.
Not your answers. This pastor didn't come up with this. This pastor isn't wise like this. This is God's word, right? And that is what you're supposed to be teaching. You're not supposed to be taking credit for the Bible.
Right.
This
right.
ain't, you didn't
Create
create this. You
right.
didn't write this. You didn't make this so. And so I just think it's so messed up. And that's why there's so many people that find it very difficult. I was raised in church. It's been very difficult for me. I've gone years without going.
Yeah.
Just reading my Bible. I recently I've been trying to go. We're looking around. I'm looking around for churches that I feel comfortable in. But it's like I have to see, what kind of pastor is this?
And unfortunately, that's a hard thing to do.
It's
to find a church
very
that's
difficult.
like, that feels like, wow, I really love this.
Because
and I really
you
love
can
coming
tell
here.
from the pastor right off the bat.
Yes,
You're like,
you can.
Nope, this isn't for me.
And
Yeah.
it doesn't. No pastor is perfect.
Oh no.
You don't go in looking to expect.
No.
You better not. No one is. You got to be honest. You're not perfect. So don't expect him to be perfect.
But
I don't look for that.
Like I'm saying, I'm not
I
looking
just
for perfect.
look for a pastor that you have to love people.
Yeah.
If I can't tell that you love people, I cannot do this.
Right.
Because that is what you need to do. If you don't really love people, you are not who God put in that pulpit.
That's right.
You
Like
should
I
not
said,
be there.
if I
It's
don't feel
hard
like I
to
can
find
approach,
that.
Yeah.
what I'm saying is, I'm not looking for some perfect person.
No.
Uh-huh.
That's not the point. The
Yeah.
point is, I'm looking for somebody who doesn't think they're perfect.
Right.
And who knows they're not. And who preaches that they're not. And that we're all sinners, and we're all trying to live as good a life as we can.
Right.
That's what I'm looking for. It's just the basics.
Yeah.
That's just the basics of what you should be. And then also being a good teacher.
Yeah.
Somebody that can actually explain the lessons in the Bible, right? Accurately.
Yeah.
Not throwing in they 2 cents.
Right.
But like I said, we've obviously went over our 5 minutes, but
Yeah,
this
we
was
did.
something that I just had to get out, because it's been really working my nerves, seeing all of these posts from
memes
so-called
Oh.
Christians who are so judgmental about everybody else, but
Yep.
as soon as you bring up one of their pastors,
Oh my God.
yeah, so the hypocrisy going on right now is a little too much for me.
Well.
But that's just food for thought. We'll leave it at that. This has been a really great episode. I had a lot of fun.
It is.
Yes.
Enjoyed it
Yes.
once again.
Hope
It's
somebody
really
got
easy.
help.
I got my mama here. I got my boy Lamar here. We're just having a good time.
That's it.
Once again, for next Wednesday, the next episode, if you want to send in questions, go to our Instagram page, Ask Mama Podcast. DM us your question, and next Wednesday, Mama will answer it, and we'll give our 2 cents as usual. We hope you're enjoying this. We're enjoying it.
Yes.
And also, if you have a Black-owned business you want us to shout out, send that to our Instagram page too as well. What else? Yeah. I want y'all all to be safe, be encouraged. Yeah, positivity, people. That's the name of the game. I am for all of 2024. That's what I'm pushing. Positivity for all.
Build the community.
That's right.
Build the community.
That's right. I love y'all.
All right now.
We love y'all.
We love y'all. Peace.